Now, if you couldn't tell by the video, our next guest is running for Congress in the district that includes the Florida Keys. Debbie Murcasel-Powell is running against Republican Carlos Curbelo, who was elected in 2014. Democrats believe he is vulnerable because in 2016, Hillary Clinton won the district by 16 points. Murcasel-Powell has made health care and gun reform her top priorities, and she joins me now. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning.
So let's just touch briefly on that video. I've never seen a video like that on a congressional candidate underwater. Talk to me. Are you a diver regularly?
Recreationally, you know, whenever we can, whenever we have time. I haven't had time this past year, but it was really interesting. We filmed that. It was my idea, and I knew we were going to be doing shots in the Keys, and I said...
So that is you?
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
Yes. Can I tell you what happened that morning?
Well, I want to get to some of the other issues.
We had a thunderstorm. The sky, there was lightning. I had to come back up and come back down, and I don't even know how we made it so clear.
All right. I want to get to, because I don't want to use this time to sort of talk about the issues. One of the things that we're going to be looking at later in the show is how the issue of guns is impacting the election, from state house races right on up to the Senate race, and certainly it's an issue in your race. When you are out door to door, do you hear from folks talking about the issue? I know health care has been a major issue for you, but do you also hear about guns as being an issue? Yeah,
Jim, I was knocking on doors in Homestead and in South Dade, and every single household, it was incredible. I had someone with me that day, a reporter, and, you know, and she had told me, my editor said, see if anyone talks about the gun issue. And every single door that day, it was a couple of weeks ago, they all said that gun violence was their #1 concern. And as you know, for me, that's been a very personal issue. I lost my father to gun violence when I was 24, and I have been a public advocate for many years, not just this year as I'm campaigning, but that we need to find common sense gun reform laws that will protect our communities and our families. We're losing too many children in my district.
Now, how do you draw a distinction between yourself and Carlos Curbelo? Because I will note that on Tuesday, Every Town Against Gun Violence, the Michael Bloomberg gun reform group, endorsed Carlos Curbelo in your race, said nice things about you as well, but it basically said that Carlos Curbelo had moderate views on gun issues and was good on the issue.
Yeah, I want to clarify that Carlos Curbelo is not truly moderate on this issue. He received thousands of dollars from the NRA. He voted against universal background checks, and he voted repeatedly to allow people on the no-fly list to be able to purchase weapons. At the same time, back in 2016, the NRA spent over $60,000 to elect him, to help elect him in 2016. So when you're looking at this issue, what I will ask the voters is to really see who's going to be truly committed, regardless of who endorses or not, to work on this issue and work across the aisle and find common sense gun reform laws. We have to start with universal background checks, Jim. I don't understand why, when we have over 95% of Americans that agree that we need to pass universal background checks, this hasn't come. There's no bill that has come to the floor in this session.
He has supported a bill, he's written a bill to ban bump stocks.
Yeah, and that was an NRA-supported bill, if you remember, and it never went to the floor. So, again, Carlos Curbelo talks a lot, says a lot of things, has been ineffective, doesn't bring the bills that we need him to bring to the floor, and it's all talk.
Let's talk about health care. I think you've identified this. I've seen this around the country as well, not just in your race. Health care as being a driving issue. Talk to me about what you want to see, whether or not you call for universal health care, and again, where you see differences between yourself and your opponent.
So I worked as the Associate Dean at the medical school at FIU, and we created a community-based program that expanded access to health care in some of the most vulnerable areas here in Miami. And one of the things that we did is to show the state that for every dollar that we spent on this program, we were able to save $15. And it's some of those programs, innovative programs that I've worked on that I want to bring to Congress. I can tell you that my top concern right now is that the Republican Party, along with Carlos Curbelo, who just recently voted to take away protections for people living with pre-existing conditions, we need to win in November because our health is on the ballot. People living with pre-existing conditions are extremely concerned. That includes, you know, if you have a child with diabetes, if you were a woman that had any sort of complications in your pregnancy, that's considered a pre-existing condition. And Republicans are right now trying to strip away those protections.
He voted how many? I can't remember. I lost track of how many times.
He voted 10 times
against
to repeal
Obamacare.
the Affordable Care Act in a district where we have more than 100,000 people. people that depend and get their health care through the ACA.
Let's talk about, I know there's the issue of the tax bill. He touts his helping to write the tax bill. He sits on the Ways and Means Committee. He wrote, so he was part of the group that wrote the tax bill that gave, he says it gave, young, lower income voters and others or people greater tax relief, that improved their lives.
Well, he's very proud of that bill, but what it did is it helped his friends, his donors, his special interest groups that have been supporting him since he was a lobbyist. That tax bill, everyone knows, Americans know that gave cuts, millions and millions of dollars in cuts to the largest corporations, to the wealthiest Americans, and it really didn't help working class families. Most of them live in my district, Jim. The average income for the family living in my district is under $55,000.
I want to give you a chance to respond to the commercial that I see being run against you time and time again. It's on Shady Friends. It basically talks about it. I guess you're in league with the Ayatollah because you opposed because you supported the Iran arms deal. It also talks about, in particular, that you have an alliance with a accused child molester, a member of Congress from California, Tony Cardenas, whose PAC gave you money before he was charged with allegedly molesting a 16-year-old.
Let me first start by saying that those allegations are false, and I think it shows how desperate Carlos Curbelo and the Republican Party is, because they know that I will win in November. And so they make up these false and shameless and baseless attacks against me.
Tony Cardenas did.
So I will tell you, I'll explain to you. Tony Cardenas is a member of Congress, and I think I've seen him twice in my life. He gave a contribution to my campaign, a personal contribution back in December. There were allegations, I think, in May from a young woman accusing him of assault. And when we realized that those allegations came forth, I sent that money to a women's organization. So,
because he's saying you kept the money.
I know. He says a lot of things that are not true, Jim. He's deceiving voters. There's definitely a feeling of desperation in that campaign, and any question, I'm always going to be honest, transparent, and direct with my voters.
We have about 30 seconds left. What's your best case? What's your best argument for why you need to be elected?
Look, I think that this community needs change, and what it needs is a champion that's going to be fighting for their best interests. We have a congressman that, when it mattered the most, he turned his back on our community. And I am someone that's going to be fighting for every single member of this community as it pertains to the environment, as it pertains to health care, gun reform. I have experience doing that. I've worked for the past 20 years in this community, committed to making those positive changes, and I will bring that to Congress when I'm elected in November.
Debbie Murcasel-Powell, thank you for coming in. And just as a reminder, I want to let folks know we have a standing offer for Carlos Curbelo to come on this show anytime he wants.